Warning, you may or may not resonate with the Aries Sun Sign Archetype video. You may actually resonate more with your rising sign versus your sun sign. Today, this video is all about the Sun Sign Aries Archetype. I hope that you enjoy the video and take something from it. Do not take this video as face value. Do your own research. This is just from research that I have done, books that I have read, and my own experiences with Aries. Your girl Goddess J Reed. I am the CEO and founder of the You Youniversity. At the You Youniversity, what I have done is I combine astrology and vision boarding together, and I use it as an everyday tool to work on myself. This is a self-developmental tool. I found a practical way that was super easy to understand and digest, and I use astrology as well as vision boarding for the visualization purposes with the knowledge of astrology. As I was using these tools to work on myself and study my sun sign and moon sign and all those other things, I thought I should share this information with the world, because I know, like me, there's other people who want to tackle and conquer and overcome the things that they need to work on deep within themselves. Before I go into anything related to any of this, I want to first say that I use astrology because we are influenced by the celestial bodies above us. We are influenced, like the moon affects the ocean's tides. We are a part of this thing as a whole, okay? So it just is what it is. And I use astrology because it's not a biased thing. It's just a straight up thing. We are influenced by the planets that rules our signs, okay? And that's just that. So when I'm speaking about the Aries, which I will be doing today, it's because I'm talking about Mars and what Mars is. It's because I'm talking about a fire sign. What is that? Okay? We all have these things in our chart. This is a tool that we use to work on ourselves. We're going to look at this every day and say, hey, these are the things that I have going on. Good, bad, ugly, high vibrational, low vibrational. We gotta set ourselves as a whole, right? And we just look at these things and say, I'm gonna pull this out my bag today. I'm gonna put this in my back pocket today. Maybe I do act like that. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac out of 12 signs. So when it comes to Aries, a lot of people feel that they are about themselves and they want to be number one, and these are all the things we hear about Aries, and you're correct. However, to give you a little more insight on the reason why they're that way, stay tuned. So when it comes to Aries, they're ruled by the planet Mars. Now, Mars is the planet known for war, aggression, anger, fire, energy, quick moving, okay? It's red, it's hot. So, hello, we're talking about Aries, right? That sounds like Aries, right? It's their nature. Now, Aries is the first sign out of 12. So they're ruled by the first house. Field 0. 0 fields. So, you know, they are loving, very loving people, but you see, I have this heart and self because their heart is centered around themselves, because they are the first sign and they are the baby of the zodiac. So their job here is to focus on the self. The more that the Aries focus on the self, the better humanity will be. They all have a role. We all have a role. Now, so Aries is cut the way they're cut because they are who they are. They say that Aries are about the self. Well, guess what? They're ruled by the first house, which is about self. They're ruled by Mars, which is a planet that's fast moving, energetic, very initiating. It's super powerful. It's about aggression. It's about danger. All of those things are related to Aries. And so that's why Aries act the way they do. They're cut that way. When you see an Aries, you're going to know this is Aries. Aries is going to walk in a room strutting, confident, and bossy, honey. And when I say bossy, I mean from the high vibrations all the way to the low vibrational side. But nonetheless, they're going to command, honey, because Aries has all the confidence in the world, okay? Now, Aries can be very sexual people, which is why we have super hot and sexy on the board, because they are super hot and they're super sexy. They're very creative. They're very innovative. You know, they are the trailblazers of the signs. They're very trailblazing. You can count on them to come with some creative shit. You can count on them to come like a leader, passion, drive. They're ruled by Mars. So, of course, Mars is the planet of passion, aggression, initiative, making sure that things get done by any means necessary, like the Aries. And that's where they get it from. Their job here is to focus on the self. The more that the Aries focus on the self, the better humanity will be. They all have a role. We all have a role. And you can count on Aries to be a leader. You can count on Aries to want to experience all of the time. They're like adrenaline junkies, right? They always want to experience. They always want to be moving and on the go. Now, caution, because when it comes to Aries, they can get a little crazy on you. So do not piss the Aries off. They're very youthful. Hence why we have choose life and grow young with me. So the Aries is going to keep you young. They're going to keep you fresh because they are energetic people and they're youthful people. They're the first sign of the zodiac. They're the babies of the zodiac. And they're just ruled by Mars. I mean, they move fast, young, fresh. That's Aries. So hey, they'll keep you young. Another good thing is they're bosses. They are very independent and they're leaders, okay? So an Aries going to come in a room with all that confidence. They're confident people. They're ruled by the ego. I mean, it's the sun is exalted in Aries. Aries is number one. They're the first zodiac sign. They're going to be confident. They're going to be leaders. Aries, they're always competing. Aries, that's just how they're built. They're always going to compete with you. It's just is what it is. They're competitive people. Aries are bossy people, okay? They're going to tell you what to do, how to do it. It's just the Aries way. They're ruled by Mars, which is the planet of aggression. They cannot help it. They're a cardinal sign. They're always thinking of new ways, innovative ways to do things. You know, they're a fire sign. They're fiery. They cannot help it. It's just the Aries way, okay? So try to understand your Aries friends and have a little patience. Aries is self-absorbed and self-centered, okay? They're all about self. They're number one out of 12 zodiac signs. They're the first sign. So when they're acting that way, it's in their natures to be that way. Now, they will do anything to get ahead, okay? You might get cut, punched, beat up, who knows? Just don't make them mad. Don't piss them off. Stay out their way. That's why we got here. Do not kill her vibe, okay? Don't mess with the Aries. They're ruled by Mars, okay? This is the Mars. It's the planet of danger. It's the planet of fire. It's red. They are a fire sign. They cannot help it, honey. It is in their natures. So if an Aries snap off on you, hey, I tried to warn you. All right? Now, don't mess up with an Aries because bye-bye, you're gone. An Aries is not a type of person who's going to hold on to the past, hold on to the future. They're right now. If you're not in there right now, you can forget about it. They're going to be on to the next. They're likable people. I often find that they're going to be entrepreneurs. They do not like being told what to do. And Aries are bossy and they're bosses. So being, 9 to 5, 9 times out of 10, if they are in a 9 to 5, they're working their way to being an entrepreneur. Okay? Now, Aries is very creative and very innovative. You know what I'm saying? There are trailblazers. Aries are trailblazers. Aries are going to be game changers. That's just what they do. They're ruled by Mars. You know what I'm saying? Fast paced, fiery, quick. It's Aries. They cannot help it. That's them. Cardinal sign. Always thinking of new ways of doing and seeing and feeling about things. It's an Aries way. Okay? So, they're fearless. Aries are fearless people. Why? They're ruled by Mars. You see this knife with this blood dripping? Aries will cut you. You will get cut by Aries. So, an Aries might hurt your feelings and be extremely blunt. But sometimes they mean something by it. Sometimes they really just don't. They're ruled by Mars, so they can't help it. It's just who they are. Mars is a planet of aggression. Mars is a planet of fire, fast moving, fast paced, a lot of energy. It's just who they are, and you either going to deal with it and deal with them and love them for who they are, or you're not. But that's just what it is when it comes down to an Aries, okay? Now, let's talk about the good things about Aries. Aries are quick-witted. They're bosses, so 9 times out of 10 they're going to be entrepreneurs because they are leaders and they are fast-paced. Cardinal signs, very fast-paced, always moving fast and getting things done, moving from one thing to the next thing. Now they might have to slow down and complete a task, but they will go from one thing to the next thing and usually come with great ideas. They are the trailblazers. They're the game changers. They love very hard and very fast. They're the babies of the zodiac, so they have a childlike way about them. And Aries will love you extremely hard, but don't get it twisted because the Aries will drop your ass just as fast as they picked you up. So don't get too comfortable. All right, now Aries, they're very funny people. They're very outgoing. They're very loving. A lot of people love them. They're like magnets. They're confident. Who doesn't want to be around that energy? Somebody's confident, someone who can spark up fast-paced, conversation and get in there with the people and network. And who doesn't want to be around that energy, right? That's the Aries. They're very magnetic, and that's just them. They cannot help it. It's a part of their makeup. It's who they are. So if you see an Aries walking around confident and they appear to act like they shit don't stink, well, maybe it doesn't. And if it does, you will never know because the Aries will never let you know. They're confident. Now, Aries are man-eaters. The women are man-eaters. They're temperamental. Now, if you're weak, an Aries will run over you. An Aries is about the self. They have the tendency to be selfish. They cannot help it. They're the first sign. They're the babies of the zodiac. They're ruled by Mars. They're a cardinal sign. They're worried about what they're thinking and their agenda. Aries is someone who is guilt-free. You can count on the Aries being unapologetically them. And when I say unapologetically them, sometimes I mean not even apologizing. An Aries is blunt. They're them. They're bold. They're in your face. It's who they are. Guilt-free at that. Unapologetically themselves. You can count on that when it comes to an Aries, okay? Now, an Aries, they don't play. They're very fearless, and the Aries might fuck you up. Hence this knife. Do not play with an Aries. Hence this grenade. Don't play with an Aries. Hence this watch. An Aries is definitely on their own time. They're not here to be concerned with someone else. They're not here to be concerned with another person's agenda. Everybody has an assignment by the universe. Everybody has something that they're supposed to be doing. Now, Aries, they are very blunt. Anything may come out their mouth is how they feel. Aries will tell it like it is, whether you like it or whether you do not like it, okay? They're very intelligent people and they're great communicators. They have a lot of confidence and they can walk in the room and just own it. It's just the Aries way. They're the first sign of all 12 zodiacs. They're the baby of the zodiac. So they're very high energy, fast paced, confident, fiery, boss. It's just the Aries way. Now, they need stimulation. They have to be experiencing things. It's never too much experience for an Aries, okay? An Aries wants to get away and they want to move and they want to get things done. They don't have time to be sitting around waiting on slow people, okay? Now, in Aries, they're guilt-free at all times. You can count on the Aries being unapologetically themselves. It's just who they are. It's their makeup. They are not going to apologize to you for being blunt. They may, but maybe not. You know what I mean? And if they don't, it's one of those things where you just have to say, when you're now around your Aries friends or families or, the people that you're in relationships with, you can say, hey, okay, I get it. They're ruled by Mars. That's a planet that's very aggressive. Yes, I get it. It's a cardinal sign. So that means that they're always initiating new ways to think and feel about things. So they're always fucking in their own mind thinking of how they want to do it, how they think about it, how they feel about it. It's a self sign. It's the first sign. It's the baby of the zodiac. It's number 1. It's a fire sign. So if you see them hot-tempered and pissed off and going crazy, keep in mind, it's a fire sign ruled by a fire planet. So the sun is exalted in Aries, meaning they are going to have an ego. They are going to have that confidence, and they're ruled by Mars. So they're fiery and they're energetic and they're just going to come off like powerful people, right? But Aries, you have to tone down your ego because just in case you didn't know, you have one and it's really, really big. And so bring it down. because people want to love on you, and people want to understand you, and people want to be a part of your world, and they want to allow you to be the leader. But you can't be bossy, demanding, inconsiderate of other people's feelings. People who might not be as fast as you because they're not cardinal and they aren't ruled by Mars. So they're not quick, fast, you know, but they're still useful. So you need to work on understanding that. If you have Aries in your first house, it's about the self, right? And so because it's the first house and it's number one, and so it's about the self, everything related to self. Now, when it's in the first house, when it comes to Aries, it's just saying here that they need to really be focused on themselves. They are pioneering people. They're here to be the pioneers. They're here to be the leaders of the pack. They're here to push their agenda. You know what I mean? They are giving a certain fire and a certain power because that is something that they are supposed to be using as a tool to push themselves in life, in their agenda, and where they're going. And the people around them will benefit from that if the Aries are able to temper their ego and balance things out in a balanced way. They'll really be able to play their role. Now, with that, they do need nurturing. Aries come off like, I don't fucking need you. I got this. Because really, they have this. Aries, 9 times out of 10, don't need you. But they do need nurturing. They're humans, right? So sometimes they need someone in their lives who can understand, you know what? You're ruled by Mars, so you are feisty and fiery. You are a fire sign. You're a cardinal sign, so you are always thinking of new ways to feel and think about things. You are the first and the baby of the zodiac, so you can be a little bitchy and a little fucking bratty, right? But I understand that about you. But I also know you have a big old heart, and I also know that you do need to be nurtured and cared for no matter what you think. Everybody needs somebody. In Aries, you need to work on that. You need to be nurtured as well. You need to tone down that ego, boo. I know you can't help it because the sun is exalted here. Aries are loyal people. You can count on them to have your back. You can count on them to be loyal. The problem comes in when Aries has this thing where they think you're competing with them. The problem comes in when Aries has an agenda and they get to focusing on themselves because it's a self sign. They're the first of all 12 zodiacs. They're the baby of the zodiac. Not only that, they're ruled by Mars, which is fiery, feisty, you know, it's fire. They are a fire sign. They're a cardinal sign. They're moving. They're here, there, and every damn where. They're fast paced. They don't have time for slow people. So those problems come in when there's an undermining thing or a bossy thing or a looking down on other thing because I feel like I'm confident and I'm faster and I'm moving. I got shit to do. I can't worry about you. And to an extent, they're not wrong for that. Aries, what did we learn today? We learned that we are loving, fun, innovative. We are leaders. And at our best, we can lead a pack. At our best, we are extremely independent. We do not need you hovering over us, dictating us, right? I have a Venus Aries. I relate to this energy a lot. When it comes to the love language, this is pretty much me. I don't need you to hover over me. I might be a loving, mushy person, but at the same time, I need my space and my time. And it's this chart is for you to learn you, but also for you to know how to communicate who you are to other people so they understand. Because some people really just don't get it, and some people going off the taboo things that they've heard, or maybe just don't get it because you don't allow them to get it. When it comes to Aries can have a hard time seeing other people's perspective. And I mean, again, I know I keep saying this, but this is kind of like the purpose of this. Not to make excuses for people, but this is about understanding people, because sometimes we like to think that we are people's gods and that we can determine who people are and they should be put in this box and they have to be this way or be that way. No, honey, everybody has their own nature, sweetheart. Everybody, including you. We all have our own natures. We all have our reactions. We all have our actions. We all have low vibrations, high vibrations, okay? So here at the You Youniversity, I just like to straight up deal with astrology because it straight up deals with your true natures, okay? Now, I said all that to say, when it comes to an Aries, the Aries is ruled by Mars, which is a planet that's really aggressive. They're cardinal, fast paced. Now, Aries is hot, passionate, right? Ruled by Mars. Now, Mars is not only the planet for passion and aggression, but it's also passion related to sex, okay? So let me tell y'all, Aries is some freaky motherfuckers, okay? Yes, I said it. Y'all some freaks. Aries is some freaks, some aggressive freaks, okay? You can count on them being hot, sexy, freaky, okay? And they cannot help it. That's the Mars in them. It is what it is. I hate to put y'all out there and put y'all business in these streets, but it's a good thing. You can count on Aries to rock the socks off of you, okay, honey? Now, the light bulb moment. The light bulb moment for Aries is, hey, maybe I am too fucking bossy, right? Hey, maybe I can tone my ego down just a notch. Hey, maybe I didn't have to punch him. If you have an Aries partner, family member, friend, check on your Aries friends, because sometimes Aries have the tendency to believe they can do everything by themselves. They'll take on everything by themselves because honestly, they rather trust themselves than trust you. It's just the truth. They know what the fuck they're gonna do. They know they're gonna see it through. They're gonna get it done. They're going to trust themselves, period. And whether that means with the task, whether that means with their life, emotions, anything. So sometimes it's not that they standoffish, it's their nature. And if you're a good friend of an Aries, sometimes call them. Hey, just checking your posts, just seeing what you're doing. I know you got it. Look, I know you got it, Aries, but you need me for something. You know what I'm saying? And they will appreciate that because they want to feel loved and they want to feel understood, but they also need their healthy space and their healthy distance and the freedom to be them. Aries, you don't want to be so selfish, you know? Yes, we understand, you know, you're the leader. Certain people may or may not bow down to you, but you may have in your mind that they should. That you should dictate them, but they can't dictate you. And that's not right. So Aries, work on those things. But I will say, embrace your leadership qualities because you have those. But study more on what it is to be a good leader. Because you could be a leader, but you don't want to be domineering. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to boss people around. You don't want to make people feel like they're low. And you know, when you lead right, you can lead a pack to do whatever you want them to do without worrying if they're going to turn on your ass later because you're doing this with them and you're looking down on them or you're looking past them. You know what I'm saying? So work on that. But embrace that. This is a beautiful quality. And there's nothing wrong with being selfish. I actually think it's important to have a little dose of selfishness about you, as well as the ability to create healthy boundaries. But there is a thin fucking line, okay? In Aries, you are bossy, okay? Aries, you are about yourself. So bring it in, bring down that ego, and you'll be good because you are trailblazing. You are the leader. You are the innovator. You are a trailblazer. You are a game changer. You are the shit. However, shit does stink, okay? And so does yours, like everybody else's. And I just want you to know that. So that's what you need to work on, and that's just being honest. Now, another thing is you're competitive. You always think you have to fucking compete, Aries. What did we learn today? We learned that Aries, they can't help the way that they are, you guys. So give them a little bit of slack. And Aries, if you're watching this video, now you know the reason why you're the way that you are. So you need to take time. Come to a vision board workshop of mine because you can join physically as well as virtually. And really take time to learn who you are. Now, let's go over it. You're ruled by Mars, which is a planet that's fiery. Lots of energy. Red, hot, danger. Okay? So it makes you aggressive. You're a fire sign. So fast. You come in a room and you're the trailblazer in the room. You're the confident leader in the room, right? You're number one. You're ruled by the first house. You're number one out of all 12 zodiacs. So that's why you're so selfish as hell and you're about yourself. You are always competing, Aries. You don't have to always compete, okay? I know it's in your nature, but sometimes it's a little unhealthy to compete with your lovers, to compete with your friends, to compete with everyone and everything. You don't have to do that all the time. It's not necessary. Turn down the ego, turn down being competitive, turn down being so self-absorbed, and life will be wonderful for you because you have all the tools that you need for you to win. And you're going to always win. But everything has a double-edged sword to it. So, yes, you're a leader. But if you're a horrible leader and you're bossy, who are you going to lead?